What's going on, guys? Matthew back again, this time for another political video. I just recently watched the presidential debate between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, and yes, it was 3-on-1 like everyone said. I don't like saying that because it sounds like I'm making excuses, but if you watch the debate, you know I'm telling the truth. And if you're being honest, you know it was 3-on-1. I thought Trump handled himself as well as he could, considering that it was 3-on-1. There are certain things I wish that he would have done better, and I'm going to point those out. But let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay, so this first clip is going to be about the abortion debate. He's going to talk about former governor of Virginia, Ralph Northam, who commented on post-birth abortion, which is basically just killing a baby. And that is what it is, it's infanticide, and how that specific governor did support it. And what you're going to see is one of the moderators try to fact check him and say that 6 states do not support that. At this moment, I don't know if that's true or not. But in this clip, and I've watched it a couple of times, hopefully I didn't miss it, but I didn't hear Trump say anything about 6 states legalizing infanticide. But there was a previous former governor of Virginia that did support it, and I'm going to play that clip for you now. Hopefully this isn't too long of a clip that I'll get copyrighted and this video will get banned. But I'm going to play you what he said entirely, and then I'm also going to show you that clip of Ralph Northam and then her response and how they throw it to Kamala and don't ask her what her position on abortion is. They ask her what her opinion of Trump's opinion is, and they did it all throughout the night. I also have a Megyn Kelly clip which really encapsulates the frustration of how the moderators acted in this debate. So let's go ahead and get into it.
I want to turn to the issue of abortion. President Trump, you've often touted that you were able to kill Roe v. Wade. Last year, you said that you were proud to be the most pro-life president in American history. Then last month, you said that your administration would be great for women and their reproductive rights. In your home state of Florida, you surprised many with regard to your 6-week abortion ban because you initially had said that it was too short. And you said, quote, "I'm going to be voting that we need more than 6 weeks." But then the very next day, you reversed course and said you would vote to support the 6-week ban. Vice President Harris says that women shouldn't trust you on the issue of abortion because you've changed your position so many times. Therefore, why should they trust you?
Well, the reason I'm doing that vote is because the plan is, as you know, the vote is, they have abortion in the 9th month. They even have, and you can look at the governor of West Virginia, the previous governor of West Virginia, not the current governor, who's doing an excellent job, but the governor before, he said the baby will be born and we will decide what to do with the baby. In other words, we'll execute the baby. And that's why I did that, because that predominates, because they're radical. The Democrats are radical in that.
Right, okay, and here's the clip of Ralph Northam saying exactly that.
Others in labor, I can tell you exactly what would happen. The infant would be delivered. The infant would be kept comfortable. The infant would be resuscitated if that's what the mother and the family desired. And then,
if that's what they desired. So in other words, they would just leave the baby there. And if they chose not to resuscitate the baby, they would just leave it there and let it die. That way they can get away with saying, "Oh no, we didn't kill it. We just let it die," which is the same thing. It's just ridiculous what these people are like.
a discussion would ensue between the physicians and the mother.
And her...
Right. So, yeah. So they would just leave the baby there and then discuss it between the physician and the mother. Well, actually, no, just let it die. I don't really want the baby anymore. I just changed my mind. It's ridiculous.
Vice presidential pick, which I think was a horrible pick, by the way, for our country, because he is really out of it. But her vice presidential pick says abortion in the 9th month is absolutely fine. He also says execution after birth. It's execution, no longer abortion, because the baby is born, is okay. And that's not okay with me, hence the vote. But what I did is something for 52 years. They've been trying to get Roe v. Wade into the states. And through the genius and heart and strength of 6 Supreme Court justices, we were able to do that. Now, I believe in the exceptions for rape, incest, and life of the mother. I believe strongly in it. Ronald Reagan did also. 85% of Republicans do. Exceptions. Very important. But we were able to get it, and now states are voting on it. And for the first time, you're going to see, look, this is an issue that's torn our country apart for 52 years. Every legal scholar, every Democrat, every Republican, liberal, conservative, they all wanted this issue to be brought back to the states where the people could vote. And that's what happened. Now, Ohio, the vote was somewhat liberal. Kansas, the vote was somewhat liberal, much more liberal than people would have thought. But each individual state is voting. It's the vote of the people now. It's not tied up in the federal government. I did a great service in doing it. It took courage to do it. And the Supreme Court had great courage in doing it. And I give tremendous credit to those 6 justices.
There is no state in this country where it is legal to kill a baby after it's born. Madam Vice President.
Okay, so you just heard her say that. They did that throughout the entire debate. They would interject as if they were a part of the debate instead of a moderator. And you're going to hear a lot of frustration from people about how they acted in this debate. I'm going to rewind it a little bit so that you can see how she immediately just throws it to Kamala. Watch.
Country where it is legal to kill a baby after it's born. Madam Vice President, I want to get your response to President Trump.
Well, as I said, you're
Right. Not, hey, Kamala, what's your position on abortion? When do you think it should be okay to kill a baby, which is never. That's the correct answer. No, just what are your thoughts on Trump's opinions? And they do that throughout the entire debate.
going to hear a bunch of lies, and that's not actually a surprising fact.
I want to move on now to.
Okay, so now this clip is, if you didn't see it, Trump had comment, or he was actually went to, I think it was called the Black Journalists Association. He was invited there. He showed up. Kamala did not show up. She was also invited. And they asked her about, some Republican had said how Kamala previously said she was Indian, and now she says she's black, which is true. She flip-flops on that. And then he was asked that question at that event and gave them his response, which is obviously you're asked a question, you give your response. And so now they're trying to make it as if he's just going around talking about it as if he's bringing up the topic himself.
Race and politics in this country. Mr. President.
Also on the previous abortion, that's one of my criticisms. He didn't, I believe when they went back to him, he should have talked to that moderator and told her that I'd never said that. I didn't think he didn't fight against the moderators enough in this debate as he has in the past, and I think that was by design. He's trying not to keep people from voting for him because they know that they'll flip it on him and call him a jerk and all that stuff. But I think he should have gone after the moderators. You should go after the moderators when they go outside the bounds of what their duties are. You should absolutely go after them. But let's go on to this one about her race.
You recently said of Vice President Harris, quote, "I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black." I want to ask a bigger picture question here tonight. Why do you believe it's appropriate to weigh in on the racial identity of your opponent?
I don't, and I don't care. I don't care what she is. I don't care. You make a big deal out of something. I couldn't care less. Whatever she wants to be is okay with me.
But those were your words, so I'm asking.
I don't know. I mean, all I can say is
This is when he should have said, I was asked. They asked me, what are my thoughts? So I gave a response. And I was really surprised he didn't say that. But I don't know. He's really trying to play it safe, and he needs to attack a little more.
read where she was not black, that she put out, and I'll say that. And then I read that she was black, and that's okay. Either one was okay with me. That's up to her. That's up to her.
Vice President Harris, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, and then they throw it to her. This happened repeatedly throughout the entire debate. And Megyn Kelly's going to break it down perfectly in a second. I'll show you that clip. But they would just say, Trump, these are your thoughts on this. Kamala, what are your thoughts on his thoughts?
I think honestly, I think it's a tragedy.
Those two
Okay, here we go. Yeah, so this is Megyn Kelly clip. She's going to break it down perfectly. Here we go.
moderators try to sink Donald Trump tonight. The numerous fact checks on what he said and none on what she said. None. I don't remember a single fact check of anything she said, and she lied repeatedly. She just got away with it. In the moderator's eyes, that was Donald Trump's job to fact check her. That's correct. Except you didn't employ that same tactic when it came to Trump, and they did it to him over and over and over again. And the worst piece of all of this is the obvious tactic by ABC News, which was as follows. Mr. Trump, you said something incredibly controversial and terrible. Let me remind you of what it was. Do you have any regrets or thoughts on how terrible you were? Trump answers. Vice President Harris, how bad is Trump? And then she'd answer. It happened over and over again. That was the format. Mr. Trump, you're a piece of shit. Kamala Harris, isn't he a shit? Thank you. It was incredible. And then anything Trump said, fact check, fact check, fact check. And their fact checks were full of shit.
Correct. It was like that the entire night. She broke that down perfectly. Now, thankfully, and I think Matt Walsh said this, the moderators, a lot of people are saying this right now, the moderators did such a bad job that they are now the story of this debate, which really makes Trump the winner. It makes Trump the winner because I don't like using the word victim because it's very dramatic, but that's what he's going to be in the eyes of a lot of people now because they clearly went after him. And I know that Kamala has already asked for a second debate, which I think I also heard Matt Walsh say that to him, they want to do that because they believe they won. I have to disagree. If you quickly call for another debate, I think it's because it didn't work in your favor. Because look at how cowardly Kamala's been this whole time. She doesn't speak to the media. She's only done one interview and she had to have her running mate with her. And it was a pre-recorded interview with CNN that some people have said that they cut up. So why would you immediately ask for another debate unless you really messed up? If she knocked it out the park like they wanted her to do, I don't think they would want another debate. Just like how Biden ran away from the third debate in 2020. It's the same thing here. But you've probably heard a lot about Trump and cats and ducks, and you're wondering, well, what is that all about? Well, there's reports that there are illegal immigrants in Ohio, I think it's called Springfield, Ohio, eating people's pet cats and ducks. Illegal immigrants walking around with beheaded ducks in parks because they just see it as like free food. But this is a video of a woman who was caught. The people of the neighborhood called the police because they saw a woman eating a cat. Now, as of now, I don't know if this woman is an illegal alien or not. It could just be an American on crack or something. But this story is true. This woman is eating a cat, and I'm going to play that. Not her eating. I'm not going to show you her eating a cat. But this is the video, the body cam footage of the police showing up.
What did you do? Why'd you kill the cat? Smile for me. Smile, what did you? Go like this. Did you eat that cat? Did you eat it? No, why'd you kill it? Did you guys see all this?
No, we pulled up and she was just laying there with it.
Did you see her eating it?
Eating it.
She was eating it?
Yeah, she was.
You call the Humane Society to see if they'll come pick this cat up. It's deceased.
Okay, so there you have it. The media's shilling for Kamala Harris, obviously. People are eating cats and ducks alive. Just a lot of craziness going on in the world. It's why we need Trump back in office. All I can say is just please pay attention. Do your research. If you do your research, you'll know who to vote for. If I got anything wrong, or if I'm missing anything at all, any kind of context, let me know in the comments below. Please hit that like button and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys next time.